Perfect. Let me see what the crack is with this. Anyway, perfect. Thank you very much for joining me. Yes, my name is Sean, and you're watching MLS Ireland does predictions for this week's midweek's MLS games. There's not that many on this week. There is only the 7 games on, which isn't too bad. Gives me a little bit of time to do my predictions and all that kind of stuff, and chat to all you good folks, if there's anyone there on Twitch. Anyway, doesn't matter really. This is basically a quick way for me getting stuff uploaded onto YouTube without doing any editing and all that kind of stuff, which I don't mind doing this because this looks quite alright. So not too bad. Anyway, I digress. As you can see, I have my wee helper guide here, which always helps me out. It's like a helper guide. It's a very good helper guide. So, may as well crack on with the first game, which is going to be a nice one with Cincinnati against New York City FC. Now, got an itchy nose. But anyway, Cincinnati, who didn't do too bad in their last game. I can't remember who it was. Yep, Orlando. It was a 1-0 win, which wasn't too bad. New York City got beaten in the last minute by Philadelphia, which was actually quite a good game. I actually quite enjoyed it. Jesus. Must be going away fighting somebody. So, yeah, New York City kind of lost their last game, which was a bit of a downer for them. They were playing actually quite well in the second half. Philadelphia played better in the first half. But their away record isn't getting better. Although the total goals scored for Cincinnati is actually not too bad. Their games over 2.5 is pretty impressive. They are scoring goals and they are doing very well at home, which isn't too bad. Against New York City FC team. Anyway, as you can see up here, that I haven't really put anything in, as you do. So I could just make sure I could add these in on the fly, as I do. So anyway, Cincinnati against New York City FC. Cincinnati probably a wee bit better at home than New York City are away from home. 2 wins New York City have with 3 defeats, whereas Cincinnati have 3 wins, 4 defeats. So it is an interesting one. Do you know what? I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to New York City FC, just for the fact that they are probably a better team. Cincinnati at home is going to be a good one. They're going to have a good game at it. I just think New York City is probably going to be a bit angry, to say the least, after last week's game against Philadelphia, and I think they're probably just going to be playing this one quite well. The next one is Toronto against Clumps Crew. Now, Clumps Crew have only won the 1, and that wasn't too long ago. That was against their last away game win was against Atlanta. Toronto, who are 24th, beat Atlanta as well, 2-1, but also beat Chicago in the last 6 games. So it's not too bad. These 2 teams are kind of well matched, if that makes any sense. Toronto are coming in with a better record, even though now they have a good player. Granted, they can't play just yet. But that usually brings a spring in the step, if that makes any sense. And so I do think Toronto's probably going to be starting to pick up a bit. They know that their spots may be, a few player spots may be up for grabs with Insigne coming in. So I do think they're going to start picking up their wins and picking up their scoring goals and scoring everything and doing well and all that kind of stuff. So actually, you know what? I'll go for 2-0. Not 20-0. I'll go for like a 2-0 for Toronto. Just a far better team than Columbus Crew. Columbus Crew are starting to just only winning the 1 game away from home this season isn't great for a team that are a very good team, to be fair. Well, last year they were a very good team. But again, Toronto on the up. I think they're probably going to be a good team to watch come mid-July. So which is going to be fun. The third one, is Chicago Fire against the Philadelphia Union, who beat New York City last week, which was actually, as I said, kind of had it all. They had their physio sent off, peak MLS. So they're coming up against a Chicago Fire team who are second from bottom and beat DC United quite recently, but got beaten by Houston Dynamo. So Their record isn't great. I know they won their last home game, but but Philadelphia are coming in by how many draws was it? I think it was like 7 on the trot. So, 7 and like 8, and then they beat New York City to kind of break that a wee bit more. But it is going to be an interesting one. They are a better team, Philadelphia. Far a better team than Chicago. But it's hard to think who's the better team on the day, because this is MLS and God knows what could happen. But I think Philadelphia, capable of winning, they should probably win this game 2-1. They are a better team away from home, better than Chicago are at home. So I'm going to stick with them 2-1 prediction for Philadelphia. Anywho, the next one is Seattle Sounders against Montreal. Seattle Sounders, again, better record. They only lost 2, I take it. Yep. Whereas Montreal have lost 3. They're probably similar. Montreal are actually up quite high in the rankings. This is going to be their first away game in quite a long time. The last away games against Nashville, and that was a 2-1 loss. Then they got beaten by Real Salt Lake at home. Beat Cincinnati. Got beaten by Austin. Then beat Charlotte, which I think I predicted a wee bit myself last week. But they're coming up against a very good Seattle Sounders team, who are now only lost to 1 in the last 6. This is going to be their 5th home game in a row. And they're starting to pick up good results in that, and then all that. They're starting to score goals. They're starting to do better, and they're less conceding. So should be an easy enough win for Seattle. 2-0 win. Just a far better team. They're not really caring about much but the Champions League because they won it. So their focus is on this. The next game is LAFC, who acquired Gareth Bale, which was pretty impressive. Didn't really see that coming, to be fair, till like a day before he posted about it himself. So FC Dallas, I like FC Dallas at the moment. They're starting to slip up a bit, to be fair, which is not great. But they're not too bad. Drew against Dallas, got beaten by Vancouver, which isn't great, but beaten Orlando, strangely enough. But can't really look over Los Angeles FC winning this game. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. It's going to be a good game. I think FC Dallas will probably actually give them a good wee run for their money, but I can't put it past Los Angeles Football Club beating Dallas. Sorry. And the next one is Galaxy against Minnesota. The Galaxy now are starting to jump all over the bloody place because I don't know if they know what they're doing anymore. Only won the one in the last 4 home games, whereas Minnesota have only won the one in the last 4 games. But LA Galaxy are a better team. Minnesota, strange season for Minnesota. Minnesota aren't doing their greatest. They lost their last 3 in home and away, whereas LA Galaxy are slipping down the rankings quite badly. Jesus, listen to me. Going down the league table, drawing with Portland, which isn't a great result. Beating Austin, okay. Getting beat by Houston. Drawing with Minnesota. In Minnesota. And then getting beaten by Dallas. Is this going to be too dissimilar from their Minnesota game during the season? I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. I think Galaxy probably are a better team currently at the moment, but Minnesota are so. It's going to be a trickier one. Going to go for another 1-1. So yeah, I'm going to go for like a 1-1. Galaxy are probably a better team, but I think Minnesota, the two teams are basically not in form at the moment, quite frankly. So I'm going to go for like a 1-1. Don't think these two teams are going to be. Don't think it's going to be an exciting game. That's what I'm trying to say. Watch it be 5-4 or something stupid now like that. The next one is Portland Timbers against Houston Dynamo. I like the way I said that. Portland Timbers, who are all over the shop again, like most MLS teams. They beat Colorado Rapids, which was a bit of a surprise. I think Colorado Rapids should have put up a bit of more of a fight. Drew against LA Galaxy the time before that. Houston, like I said, beat Chicago Fire. I know Chicago Fire are bottom of the league, but still, this happens. This is MLS. They're coming up against the Portland team in Portland. A bit of a wee trek for them to travel midweek. Portland at home. They're starting to kind of pick up a couple of results, whereas Houston only won the 2 away from home. You know what? I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to Portland. I think this is probably going to be a game that's going to suit them a bit better. I think Minnesota are a kind of a countering-attacking team, whereas Portland like to hold on to the ball. I think Portland probably are a bit well matched and a bit more pace in their team to counter Houston's counter-attack. So yeah, I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to the Portland Timbers. Interesting. Very interesting. The next one is Charlotte against Austin FC. You know, Charlotte playing the old team now, basically. Austin, their second season in this. Playing Charlotte, it was their first season in this. Charlotte are very good at home. I think they've only lost 2 games at home, which isn't bad for a team who started this. This is their first season. Austin away from home are doing very better. These two, well, Austin's 4th, which is pretty impressive. Whereas Charlotte are 18th. Their away record isn't great. I don't think they have won a game away from home this season. I could be wrong. But they drew against Clumps Crew. But coming up against an Austin team who Charlotte are very good at home. I do think Charlotte could probably get a good result out of this one. But I like Austin. Austin are a very good team. It's hard to predict this one. By going by form, you would say Charlotte. But by team, you would think Austin. So, should I go down the line? It's going to be a trickier one. Again, Charlotte at home. Damn it. I'm going to go down the road, down the middle of the lane, or whatever the hell it's called. I'm going to go for like a 1-1. I think Austin are capable of getting a good result in this, but I think Charlotte at home with their crowd, I do think they're going to get a good reception in this, even though it's probably going to be a midweek game. It is a midweek game, and are they going to get a good crowd? Their first game of the season was an amazing crowd, and then they just kind of not fell off, but they haven't got to the 74,000 that they did that week. So, which is a bit of a shame. And now the last one of the week, midweek. Red Bull against Atlanta. Atlanta starting to look okay. They won their last home game, which is against Inter, but they got beaten by Toronto 2-1. Now there's going to be another away game against a team who started off the season badly at home, but done very well away from home, and now they're starting to turn things around at home, but starting to lose away from home. Kind of after that Inter Miami game, where they kind of just basically started losing, but winning at home. But anyway, weird. You think Red Bulls would probably win this one. I'm going to go for a boring 2-1 win to the Red Bulls. They're a far better team now at home. Atlanta are not that great team away from home. So these are trickier predictions. Particularly, I think the weirdest one's going to be Charlotte against Austin. This is one I probably didn't know if I knew who could probably win that one. I just kind of guessed to a 1-1 draw. But I do think Austin are a very good team. They're going to go far this season. I think probably better in the league rather than the cup. They're still a young team. I know a lot of young teams won the MLS Cup and all that kind of stuff, but I think they're nearly there. I think they have a good chance of doing well in the Supporters' Shield. They could possibly get a good position in the MLS Cup, but I do think it's either Philadelphia or Los Angeles FC their season. Philadelphia need to start playing draws and the wins. Real Salt Lake would surprise quite a few. New York City probably lost their manager at the wrong time. New York Red Bulls, if they figure out a way to start winning away from home and keep up their home, yeah, Seattle, you can never really count them out because it's Seattle. So anyway, that was my predictions. Hope you enjoyed it. To the one, I think the one person's watching this, but anyway, I shall chat to you later. And there is more games on next week, so I hope to see you then. Bye now.